get some of this content beforehand. But
Right.
yeah, so sitting right in between the two, 200 pounds right now. I got, I'll either have a couple pounds to play with or a lot more, but either way, I think my best look will come around 204.
Right. Nice.
I
Yep.
got the puffy face
That's
going because I had back-to-back high carb days. Sunday was 600, yesterday was 600. So
nice. Oh yeah. And what's your low day sitting at currently?
low day is 80 grams of carbs. So that's today.
Yeah.
Yeah, today and tomorrow. And then Thursday it pushes up to 150. Thursday, Friday is 150, and then Saturday is low. So I got three lows, two, I guess, mediums, and then a
Yeah.
high.
Yeah. Right. Well, shoot. That's what's up, man. Them high carb days be feeling nice though, man. We get those little
Hmm.
extra carbs in. But for me, I don't know if it's like for you the same way, but when I first if I get like a high carb day and haven't one in a while, my body's so adapted to being on low carbs that I actually feel pretty sluggish. I don't get that energy fix that a lot of people get when they just automatically go back on high carbs. I actually feel pretty tired. The day I do the high carbs, I feel tired, and then the following day, then my energy kind of picks up a little bit. But those extra carbs drain me that first day.
That's interesting. So
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. I feel great the day. So Sunday, I feel good. Monday, I actually feel a little bit sluggish. But my body's just been ripping through food. Like Monday, I was starving all day.
Oh
Um,
man.
and the high carbs, I mean, and we don't go crazy. It's not cheat
Right.
meals. It's still
Yeah.
rice,
Clean
potatoes.
refeeds. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it yesterday was crazy. Like I don't like I had energy, but my body was just ripping through food so fast. By the time I got home, my blood sugar was at like 77. Um,
Oh wow. Yeah.
yeah, and that was after, probably 350, 400 grams of carbs prior to training. So
Right.
it's
Right.
it's just ripping through food. And then it's also puffy just from it's been hot. I mean hot for us. I'm in Oregon. I'm a 85 is hot for us.
Well,
Um,
yeah. I'm in
but
Arizona, so we had 110, 112.
damn. Yeah, so always get a little puffy when it's hot, like the day or two after, and then usually by like Friday, everything just flushes.
Right.
The sodium from the carbs and all that good stuff. But no, it's been good. Cardio's sitting at like 45 minutes. I split it 25 in the morning, 20 post workout.
Right.
Um, it's funny, everybody makes I do my little I call it a sauna. I have a little infrared heat lamp that I I was training, so I have a gym in the shop at my house.
Uh-huh.
It's a solid little setup.
Right.
But when I do my cardio, it's hoodie on, I got my waist trainer on, and then I got my infrared heater right behind me. So
Right.
the shop's probably like 110, and then
Okay.
that's on me. But the good thing about infrared is it only heats your body, so it's
Right.
heating you
Right.
inside out.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I hit my cardio with that, and so now I'm just chilling for the night. Got my meal prep done. So, Ty, how you doing? You're what 3 days out from the next one?
Yeah, man, I got a solid 4 more days, and then it's back to the grind, man, back to the stage. I didn't get a chance to say what's up with y'all, man. Y'all were in combo. I didn't want to mess it up, but yeah,
All
man.
good.
I, I didn't even know you chimed in. What's good, brother?
Yeah, yeah,
What's
yeah, yeah.
good
No,
with
it's
you?
all good, man. So yeah, I just speaking of cardio, I just been after Atlanta, so that was kind of like the warm-up show to get back into the swing of things with the new weight for me. But I learned a lot from that show, man. And so one thing that I recently switched up was I have been doing the treadmill throughout most of prep and just cranking it up on that 15, hitting about 3.2,
Yeah.
and it was cool. The sweat was going. But I was like, you know what? If I want to get that, I think Alex had mentioned, bro, you gotta go dig it out. So I was like, you know
Yeah.
what? I went and grabbed that waist trainer and got some sweet heat.
There
And
you
I've
go.
been doing both of those. And I just hopped on the Stairmaster, man. I've been like the Stairmaster that's been some next level stuff. The weight drop over the past week and a half has been crazy. So I
Oh
kind of
wow.
got
Yeah.
some little sunken wrinkles in my face right now, but
Yeah.
it's
Put in
It's
that work.
So I have like it's an elliptical stair stepper, so it moves up and down, but
Yeah.
it functions
Yeah,
like
yeah.
so. I'll switch between the two because I found when I was doing prep for E Cup, it was mainly like you said, incline cardio. My calves were getting so tight.
Yeah.
And I went and saw my PT because I was like, man, why am I so tired all the time? I mean, obviously I'm doing cardio, all that good stuff. And he was like, well, your calves are so tight, that's your second heart. It's what pumps the blood back up to your heart. So if you're not getting good circulation because it's so tight, then
Yeah.
it's going to make you feel sluggish. So we did some A
Makes
stem. So he did some scraping on my calves. I felt like I had 6 cups of coffee the next day. I was like, we're good to go. So
Wow.
that makes a lot of sense.
yeah,
That's interesting.
so since then, I've been alternating. I'll either do one day of stair stepper, one day of treadmill, or now that I've been splitting my cardio up, I'll do morning. I'll do one, usually stair stepper in the morning because it's easier to get my heart rate up. And then afternoon, since I do post workout, it's easier to just walk the treadmill since my heart rate's already high. But yeah, just switching
Right.
modalities in general makes a big difference. Like Ty, if you go stair step. I mean, I know you're almost done, but going to the next show, like you go stair stepper for the next few weeks and switch back to doing treadmill. It's crazy.
Yeah, I might have to, yeah, depending on what we decide after this upcoming weekend, I might definitely do that. Because I mean, it's been my whole thing is keep the heart rate up and get the work, get
Yeah,
that feeling to make sure your body is exerting what it needs to. But it's hey, if I get a chance to switch it out, I'm not saying that it's easier, but it's
right.
different. Um, but I
It's just
definitely,
fresh. It's your body, your body adapts. And
yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm sure you probably didn't start out at 15 incline and 3.5. It was
Oh,
probably like 12, but then 12 became 13, 13 became, to get and keep that heart rate up.
oh yeah, yeah. Funny thing is, I remember when I first started like training for bodybuilding back in 2021, I believe, 2020, 2021. And my coach was like, "Hey, I want you to crank it up to 10." And at that point, I never really like the only cardio for real, was like just running on a treadmill, maybe the Stairmaster, but not like serious.
Right.
He told me to do like I think put it on like 10 or 11, and my body was not. I couldn't even do. I think I was starting at like 7, 8, and just kind of switching back and forth. That's just on the treadmill. And
Hmm.
look at how far I've come now. And like there are times where I'm like, if I could go past 15, I would do it. But
Yeah.
that's just kind of showing like that consistency over time. Crazy to show those kind of improvements and letting your body get conditioned for it.
Yep.
Right.
I keep a weighted vest. That was one of the best purchases I made. Was I got a weighted vest and I think it's got two 20-pound plates so I can do 20 or 40 and I'll usually just keep the 40 in, but that allows me to keep it at like 10 or 11 and then I can walk at like 2.8 and my heart rate goes way up, especially like as I get leaner, carrying an extra 40 pounds.
Mm.
Man,
Alex, what do you typically do for cardio?
Stairmaster 90% of the time. I mean, if you really want to get conditioned, you gotta do the Stairmaster. But
I agree.
I'm definitely think it's important to know uh when to jump on the treadmill or the elliptical for the simple fact that it's less taxing on your body. And
Yep.
sometimes, especially when you're dieting hard, inflammation will be up and your body will be having high cortisol, and that stairmaster is just going to put you in a negative box, and
Yep.
you got to jump on that treadmill to switch it up. And I think Keon said it that he does a lot of treadmill on the high incline to give himself a break from the stairmaster, just because, like I said, your inflammation goes up, especially the closer you get to showtime. And keeping managing stress levels and cortisol levels is the most important thing at that point. The weight loss stuff for me, I always say the weight loss stops at 2 weeks out. 10 days
Hmm.
out, weight loss stops. It's all about trying to bring in that conditioning now. You should be in shape 10 days out. And
Oh yeah.
then it's all about the manipulation of the fluids and making sure that your body is more rested and the inflammation is under control and all that. So
Yep.
I've more prioritized recovery to get control than the weight's going to naturally just fall his own. Because you go high stem if you on fat burners and tea, other stuff, whatever else, your stress levels is up. You on high stem and coffee, you're doing all this, and you don't So you got to manage that stress so that when walking in the peak, completely stressed out, I can hinder you being able to uptake all your nutrients too.
Exactly. And that's a huge one. What's going on, Justin?
Hey,
Uh,
what's going
you're
on? I'm
just
sorry. I was on at like 6:28 and I thought that was too early and
Oh,
then
nah. Hey, you know
you
what?
must
That's a good, you know what? That's a good mindset to be
you
early. So
must have hopped off. You must have hopped off right when I got on. I was telling my wife at like 6:26, I'm like, oh, I got to get out there. And then sure enough, right as I'm getting ready to go out, I'm like, oh, I better get some water because I'm out in the garage and I was just saying it's like 80, it's 83 outside, so it's probably like 90 something in my garage. So I was like, oh, let me get some water too, real quick.
Yeah.
So you must have hopped off right as I was hopping on, but we were just talking cardio, especially leading up to a show. And Alexander was making a great point. You know, the last 10 days or so, it's all about, you know, making sure that you're recovering. We were talking about hitting Stairmaster and switching between that and incline treadmill.
Mhm.
And I can't agree more. Like the last week to 2 weeks is all about inflammation. Like I've even BPC has been a huge, huge help in keeping inflammation down. I use that a lot, like leading up to the show. But yeah, we pull all yohimbine, all fat burners, all of that. Like I think the Saturday. So yeah, a week exactly before the show, all the
Hmm.
fat burners come out.
Yeah.
Because all of that will keep the cortisol up. It keeps everything just,
Uh,
almost negative. And it's crazy because when you pull a lot of that, like you'll drop weight, even just
yeah.
increasing, you get the stress out of your body and you start feeding up a little bit, like
Oh
weight
yeah.
will start coming down.
Mhm.
100%.
Yeah, I cut my
Especially if you plunge a hole with water. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
no,
ahead.
I'm just saying I cut my fat burners yesterday. I should have done it sooner, but I cut them yesterday.
You'd be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll be
Even if
fine.
even at 4 days, you'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ran mine all the way through. Like all the way through.
Yeah.
And
Um,
sometimes I mean, and that's the thing though, is everybody is so individual.
Right.
Uh, and it's all trial and error. Like for me, it's always work pulling it out, but I've also ran preps where we've kept it in. Clint has
yeah.
stayed in the whole time. That's one thing that a lot of times, we'll drop it down real, real low. But there's some variables where it's like, do you want to pull it? Because that might go the opposite direction. But I know
Mhm.
yohimbine for one, because that'll cause inflammation, water retention, things like that.
Right.
A lot of times we'll at least pull that.
Mhm.
Cool.
And
And for
it
this, go ahead, Alex.
no, I was gonna say, it all really depends. Like you said, it's all subjective to the individual person and what you're going through on that prep. Because I've kept it in throughout certain preps, but at the same time I've pulled it. But majority of the time I end up pulling it. But there's also times where it's like, okay, if I just keep it in, but I just at a very minimum dose, so that way it's still giving that fat burning effects, and that way, it keeps you from potentially even overcarbing up. So that way it funnels and shifts that energy, so that way you ain't overcarbon up if you're potentially worried about that. But like I said, it all depends on the particular prep that you own, like I said. But for the most part, I'm always focused on, okay, more so I want to be ready enough early enough to where I'll pull out all the fat burn, because at the end of the day I want my physique to look as rested and as
Right,
perky as possible. So that's the
right.
main.
Hmm.
Well, let
Devin, you
me
want to hear some one of those? I said you want to hear some one of those beautiful intros that you
yeah,
do.
I was gonna say, let me run us in real quick. We were just recording, getting some B-roll. Awesome. Well, hey, welcome to an episode of Beyond the Bar. This is going to be an entirely new series. It will be a portion of Beyond the Bar, but we don't quite have a name settled on for this series. But I am here with the BeHIM team. We got Alexander Brown. Almost, not all, but we are most of the BeHIM team. We got Alexander Brown. We got Justin, the Phoenix partner, or excuse me, Justin, the Phoenix Parker.
Parker sounds good
Brand
too.
Parker, brand new IFBB Pro. And not only was he a new IFBB Pro, he was the men's physique overall at this year's 2026 USA Championships.
Turn
Yeah.
So
up.
shout out
Sir.
to you.
Yes, sir.
And then, of course, we got the Cap himself, Mr. Ty the Titan Rogers.
Yep.
We're missing a few of our brethren here, but we're gonna kick this one off and have some fun today. We want to talk a little bit about Justin's transition from NPC to IFBB. We got some different shows coming up for Ty, for myself. Alexander's going to talk a little bit about his off season. We're just going to talk bodybuilding. We're going to talk life. We're going to talk men, all things of that nature. What I really want this podcast to be about is community. Everybody knows there's a ton of bodybuilding shows out there. If you want to hear about gear, you want to hear about training, you want to hear about, all of the things happening in bodybuilding, there's a ton of other ones. What we're here to do is give back. And we want to give back by talking about our circumstances, our individual training, what we're doing in the community, what we're doing as men, as fathers, as husbands, as spouses, and how it all pertains to bodybuilding as a cohesive. So that's what we're here for. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And there's going to be plenty more, and it's only going to get better from here. So I want to kick things off and talk to Justin for a minute, obviously all of us, but Justin, fill us in, like where you from? What do you do? How'd you get started? All the good things.
All right. Well, I'll start with the first question. I'm from Chicago, Illinois, first and foremost. We moved out here from Chicago to Phoenix about 9 years ago, and I got Phoenix tatted on me when I was like 17. I always believed in the mysticism of the bird Phoenix and rising through the ashes. So, I was going through a troublesome time with family and friends, and I needed to restart with my family, with my wife right now, and we moved to Phoenix. So it's just been a crazy transformation here. And speaking of transformations, bodybuilding has definitely glowed up in the last, I would say, 6, 7, or 8 months here. And I've been bodybuilding for a long time, since college. But you know how you guys know, it's like you take it serious or you don't take it serious. And recently, I started to take it very, very serious and uh, be fully committed to attempt to get my pro card. Before I was just kind of playing games and going in and out of shows, seeing where I fit, and I just knew that I was bigger than the puzzle, at least for this USA show, and I just put my heart and soul into it, and I love bodybuilding, and yeah, so why I don't want to talk too much, but why I started was because um, varsity football. I wasn't called up to varsity. I had a little bit of an attitude problem when I was in high school. So the coaches and I didn't click all the time. All my friends and all my peers were called up to the varsity. I was a sophomore, and I just remember that day. I picked up my gym bag. I went straight to the locker room, changed into my gym clothes, went straight to the weight room. And like ever since then, it was just like the feeling of strength, control, power from just doing a simple barbell curl. That really it changed my perspective on where I can direct my life individually. So without the influence of other factors. So bodybuilding has been a great thing to me. So
Love it.
mhm.
Hey, can you guys do me a favor real quick? If Justin and Alexander, I think you guys are on your phone. Can you rotate them?
Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
put them in landscape mode so we get the full.
oh,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Just rotate it 90 if you can.
Okay, yeah,
There
yeah,
we
yeah.
go. Yep.
Much better, much better.
There
Got
we
it.
go. Thank you. Awesome. Yeah, so I got this video. We're gonna fast forward a little bit because, like you said, I want to have you on, and I want to dig a little bit deeper into your story and those sorts of things. But for right now, I want to talk about this, and this is your routine at USA's. I love USA's. It was the first show that I just missed my pro card. I had probably 23 people in my class. I took third, top
Wow.
two, as you guys know,
Tough.
place. Feedback from the judges was come in a little bit tighter, and I was frustrated only in myself because leading up to it, my coach had asked me, how do we want to play this? Do we want to push for size? Do we want to push for, being a little bit more leaner? And this was right before people really, it was probably like 3.5, 4 years ago. So it was right before, size really became prominent.
Yeah.
And so I was like, hey, I think this is the direction that the league is going. Let's push for size. They wanted more streamlined. Um, and I missed my card by one place, but I'm looking at this and you clearly have both, which I love. Amazing physique. I just want to talk a little bit about this experience for you. Like just kind of walk us through the experience. Your prep leading up to it, just, just kind of the key points and what it was like being on stage. What did it look like?
Yeah.
How did it
I,
feel?
I don't want to say the word surreal because I feel like that's like you're kind of putting it off like it's not real. It was real. It was reality. It was my reality that I created just through my beliefs and actions and my partnership with my coach. I would say what drove me the most, and I'll get to like the experience, and
Yeah.
what drove me the most was the fact that my mother, my grandmother, and my grandfather all died of cancer within the last, what, 6, 7 years.
Oh, wow.
And that, like, it was like dominoes. And then my wife's mother, same thing last year. So
Man.
at that point, it was like, okay, I put off this dream, this goal way too long. I've seen people surpass me. I've seen my peers and my partners that I train with get IFBB pro cards. It's time to take it serious. So, after I just put my foot down, man, after that December show in Excalibur, and I just locked up with Will. If you guys know Will Sage from
Yeah.
Precision Elite, an awesome coach.
A
Uh,
good friend of mine, his wife trains with under Will.
Yeah, and he has a ton of athletes, but it's incredible the case I wouldn't call it case load, athlete load that he has, but he does an incredible job with each of us. And I couldn't see the craziest part about this is that I didn't really see backstage was awesome. It was
Mhm.
huge, and
Yeah.
USA has so many good competitors, and it's like local shows are kind of cool, but like when people are staring at me at local shows, and it's like 9 or 8 guys in your class, it's like it doesn't feel as invigorating. But when I'm
Hmm.
around class A to class G, and
Yep.
Wizzy 6'6" I'm looking up at this dude. He's
Yeah, he's a
6'6".
giant.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like you're competing against all body types from people all around the country. And I just I had no nerves. I knew I was going to win. I could not see anything other than first place. I never once thought I would take second or lose. Now I'm talking the full 35-week prep. So
Yep.
it was just realization come to life. That was like the first time ever that something is like step by step just came to life.
No,
Man.
I totally get it. That's how it was for me. After I took that third place at USA's when I was gearing up for Pittsburgh, every single night before I went to bed, I just visualized like me holding that card, me say, just what I was gonna say, how it felt. More than just envisioning, oh, I'm holding the card, the feeling of my feet on the floor, what the card felt like, the smell of the tent, like everything. And
Right.
when that comes, it is surreal because it's almost like an out of body experience. Like you're there, but it's like you're watching yourself do it at the same time. It's
Yeah.
so different. But that's awesome. Tell me, okay, I got this up real quick. Now, was this the start of your prep or
Am I supposed to be seeing? Oh, there we go. I can see. I'm a good old head with the Zoom. I can swipe. I'm like, where is he talking about? Now, okay, now I can talk. Yeah, the one to the left is, dude. That do you see that face?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Puffy.
And that was at the starter prep.
No, that was me. That was contemplation on September of last
Oh
year.
shoot. Okay.
And I was like, should I do class? I was doing classic poses, I was doing bodybuilding poses, and then I hit that men's physique and I was like, what the hell am I doing? And that I deleted all the photos except that one. You look at your body, you're like, I was hairy, I was chubby. Look at my legs and my underwear. I was like, man, what am I doing? And then I
it's
went
so
to
funny
bed.
that you say that you're chubby and you you have a better physique right there than probably 90% of people walking around. But I know us as bodybuilders, when we say chubby, it's different
Hey,
than,
the
the
standard
massive.
is
But
way different. Oh yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I get it.
Yeah, I'm out of shape, and I don't know that. Obviously, I've won classic Z shows. I've taken second in bodybuilding open, so like I just kind of fell apart, and I saw myself on the tripod. I looked at that camera. I was like, absolutely not. I'm not competing. And then the next morning, I woke up and I was like, F it. I'm just gonna book two shows. So I booked NPC Triumph. 2 weeks later, Excalibur. I placed second and open in both of them, and that was like, oh shoot, like I got something going here.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yep. I had a question for you, Justin, because I think one of the things that I noticed with your physique, and probably more so, I would say a lot of guys who've been competing for a while at least. And I think Alex did the same thing. So you were competing in classic, and then at some point you made the decision to go to men's physique. What was the deciding factor for you to decide which route you were going to take? Because again, you have to focus on two completely, I say completely different things. The training styles have to be completely different as you're focusing more on legs versus, staying within that men's physique streamline look. So what was the deciding factor for you when you said, you know what? Classic is cool, but I'm going to switch gears and focus on this beach body.
hmm That's a great question. And I think to roll off of what Devin was talking about, that they did make that transition and kind of like favoring size. And I knew that I had a great back and I had kind of bubbly roundness to myself, my upper body. But like you said, classic, bro, you gotta have the legs.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got the classic shape. Like I said, I've won a show before, but I know to be competitive, hey, bro, I'm about to take like 3 years off to grow my legs, like for real, for real.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I just had this feel, and I loved this. Men's physique is sexy. Come on, let's be real. It's sexy.
You know
It is.
what?
I mean,
We
it's one of
keep.
those.
Oh, go
It's
ahead.
it's the only category where you can walk around and draw the amount of attention that you draw, but not look completely like a freak.
Right.
Not and not that that's bad, you know, but it's just the most aesthetically pleasing, um, in my opinion, look in the three categories.
hmm
Yeah.
I agree.
We know which division funds the shows, or at least we know which two divisions funds the shows.
Right.
Real.
Yeah, I love men's physique, man. I just love it. And those two poses, I got my rotation and my not my rotation, but my routine down. And it was just fun to do. First, classic is cool, bodybuilding is cool. I love posing, but something about men's physique. And I don't have to pick music. It's like house music, whatever they have on stage, and can just go out there and freestyle and do my thing. So good
Yeah.
question.
Right.
No, for sure. No, you definitely. I was listening to some of the podcasts who were kind of doing some coverage for that show, and one of the things that they had mentioned specifically about your back, because I think that's one of the areas for me specifically. I my front pose over the years, I mean, not gonna say it's easy. It's a lot easier for you to have a good diet, have some good abs, good obliques, as long as you're controlling the things within your kitchen and doing some things to tighten things up is great. But the level, and I'm going to do a pause moment here, the level of meat that you have on your
Yeah.
back is crazy. And so it's just like, again, I know the training style, you went from classic to men's physique. But I was just curious, man, over the years, what are some of the key things that you've done to really help add some size, especially to those lats, because they are literally just kind of hanging off the bone over there. Pause again, but
Yeah.
you have a lot of detail, a lot of density in your back. What are some of the key things you've done to build that up over the years?
A lot of pain, man. A lot of pain is transferred through those deadlifts. I did powerlifting as well. I've done 3 powerlifting competitions. So in the stint between my bodybuilding competitions and off season, I would never settle. And I call it off season. I was really just eating burgers and pizza and drinking beer, and and getting pretty thick. I was like 230, 235, and I would just deadlift. I got up to 730 pounds, 730 some pounds, and I believe deadlifts, rows, obviously lat pull down, things like that. But I would contribute or attribute the thickness of my back and size and width to the heavy lifting, heavy training, powerlifting.
Absolutely. One of the biggest or best off seasons I had for growth in my back came from deadlifts and Pendlay rows.
Yeah, you got to be a monster to do some Pendlay rows.
Mm.
I think I worked up to about 405, 455, I think.
Hmm.
Um, and I mean the amount of size that that put on my back was unreal in a year and a half.
Yeah. And
I'm
that's
I
big
want to
on
switch gear.
T-bar rolls.
T-bar
mhm.
rows.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And butter.
I just got a I was about to post it today. I just got a linear chest supported row, and that thing is so nice. It's got probably 5 different fixed grip positions. Uh,
Nice.
You know, all the angles. Oh yeah.
so I'm gonna have to have you guys. You guys will have to come out sometime. We got there's 2 really good gyms by me, but then the house gym right now is coming together. I've been upgrading it a lot, but I want to switch gears really quick because I know this one we're gonna keep a little bit shorter. But I want to talk family. And that's with everybody here because I know everybody here is either are you do you have kids, Alexander?
I got a 6-year-old son.
Okay, I thought so. So we're all fathers, which I love. Talk to me a little bit, and this is just round robin. Talk to me a little bit about family and bodybuilding. Justin, I'm gonna let you go first, but um, you know, how's the family deal with the bodybuilding? How do you find time, or I actually I hate saying find time. How do you create time to make sure that you are present in both your bodybuilding endeavors, your work, and of course, family?
Mhm. I would say it's now it's easy. I would say it was a little bit harder when not only when I was in prep, but the fact that there was accumulated stress from not being an IFBB pro,
Mhm.
and that tension and that anxiety and that like it was like I didn't have time for them even when I had time for them. I would believe that I wasn't the best at giving them time these past couple preps. This prep I've been a little bit better, but now that I'm an IB pro, I'm recognizing how important that family time is. It has always been, but now it's like when I get home from work, the first thing that I do is stop work, stop bodybuilding. I give my time to my daughter. I give my time to my wife, and that is it. I don't care if she wanted to play Yahtzee yesterday. I don't know how to play Yahtzee. She taught me. So it's just like you sit down for half an hour, like you said, Devin, give reading time to your sons or daughters and just be there for them in that time. You know what I mean? So it's for me, it's now I'm getting better at it. So each prep as a pro is going to be so much easier because I put them first in certain situations. I'm hyper focused on what I do. So if I'm bodybuilding, don't talk to me. If I'm teaching at school, don't talk to me. Well, the students can. And if
Right?
I'm with my family, I'm with my family. So
Yeah.
just kind of
Right on.
prioritize.
Yeah. What about you, Ty?
Yeah, man. So kind of a quick backstory. So the reason I started bodybuilding was when I was 30, gosh, 35-ish, 34, 30, no, 35, 36. And my son was about to be born. And I just had one of those, look in the mirror moments where I just realized like I work out, but my diet was crazy. I was probably just like not in the good spaces because of all the COVID stuff going on. And so I actually started bodybuilding just as an attempt to just get my body back in shape for my kid. I'm like, he's at an age now where he recognizes it, but at that time I was like, I want him to see me as nothing more than like a Greek god.
Mm-hmm.
So now that he's my son is 5 years old, he just started kindergarten today, so that was a fun
Nice.
situation. But when he's with me, so when he's with his mom, they kind of do a lot of outdoor type stuff, and so but when he's with me, we're doing the same, but like if I know I can't go to the gym, I'm incorporating like I'm going to do sit-ups and like just to make sure he's involved and he sees what I'm doing. Like he'll hold my ankles to try to brace me while I'm doing sit-ups, or if I'm doing push-ups because I can't go do like bench press, I'll just be like, hey, buddy, I need an extra weight. So we'll make it fun. And he'll just come and climb on my back and I'll do some push-ups with him just there. So we just make fun of the whole situation. I think it's cool for him to see, like, he's seeing a man do,
Yep.
manly things in the gym. And it's kind of like setting the tone for what fitness looks like on that level if you want to look a certain way or just be active. And so I think it's cool just to incorporate my kid into my lifestyle without making a little, oh, okay, I'm gonna go and work out. You go play with your iPad, or I'm gonna go do this. You go no. So we find ways to do it together. If he's biking, I'll run beside him just to get some exercise. So we find ways to just kind of make the time, and then at the same time, he's going to remember all these things. So when he's older, he's go, oh yeah, yeah. Me and my dad, we're gonna go to the gym together. We're gonna do push-ups. We got to stay active. So for me, it's just kind of blending what I do, still getting my workouts in, and finding creative ways without having to actually be in the gym. So it's been a cool situation, especially since he's older now.
I love that. And it's so true. So I have Grayson and Camden, right up here, uh, 11 and 8. And they know that when dad's working out. But they'll usually peek their head in. And if I'm done, it's, hey, come in, come in. And we'll knock out, I'll drop the weights on, the Smith machine, and they'll knock out some reps. Or punishment, if they get in trouble, is usually push-ups or wall sits. If they say something or do something, it's, hey, 10 push-ups, 20 push-ups. My wife is big into fitness too. She's actually getting ready to do a high rocks here in a couple of months.
Oh, nice,
Mm.
nice.
Yeah.
He's
So
serious.
she's
I've
so
seen
she's
those. Those people
yeah,
wild.
she's been getting after it.
Man.
And so she'll take them because she works for the school district. So everybody's still, we got a couple weeks left, but all summer long, she would go do her training, and then she would have them come down and they would go through a workout. I would write out some workouts for the boys, and she would take them through them if I wasn't home. And so I think instilling that in kids is great, because and I tell my kids, sometimes it's not about the weight. It's just about doing hard things.
Mm.
Dang.
And my son the other day didn't really get, he goes, well, what do you mean? And I said, the weight you're lifting is heavy sometimes, right? And he goes, well, yeah. And I said, I don't care if you do 1 rep or you do 5 reps. It's the fact that you're doing something that is challenging you, that is
Mhm.
hard. And if
Mhm.
you can get through that, it makes other things in life easy.
Mm.
He was asking, the conversation started, well, why do you go to the gym at 5 a.m.? Or, why do you go down to the shop and do cardio at 4 a.m. or 3 a.m.? Because I have clients at 4 and 5. And I want to give as much time back to you guys as I can. But
Right.
sometimes it's just about waking up and doing something hard, because the rest of my day is easy at that point.
Dang, yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Keep
Yep.
going, man. Keep going. Keep preaching. I was just some ad libs in.
Yeah. What about you, Alexander?
So for me, just giving a little backstory. I don't know if I told you. Ty, you might have heard it. I think we spoke on it when I first met you. So my father was a bodybuilder. So
Mhm.
my uncle was a bodybuilder. So I come from a lineage of bodybuilders, and so I've been around this since I was a kid. I grew up around a lot of famous 80s and 70s bodybuilders and stuff. So I actually had a lot of experience being around it young. So I seen what it was. I see how much of an impact it had on my life. So ultimately, that influenced me. And obviously, like I said, as a kid, I didn't really know that I wanted to be a bodybuilder. I just seen muscles, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Walking through Gold's Gym back in the day at 6, 7 years old, not really knowing what's going on.
Mm.
And so as I got older, you know, my dad, he let us work out here and there. He let us see the lifestyle, but I didn't really get involved into it until I turned about 13. When I turned 13, that's when my dad took me to the gym. Actually, my uncle owned a gym in San Diego in North Park called Stearns Gym, and it was actually one of the oldest gyms in the nation. And so that was like my home gym growing up. So a lot of people came through there, and I got to meet a lot of famous people. And even right before it shut down, it ended up shutting down. My cousin owned it right before it shut down because the city ended up tearing it down because it's been around since 1946. And C-Bon had went there right the day after, because he was in Vegas for the Olympia in 20, I want to say that when he won his fourth Olympia, I would say. And he came down there the next day, and he didn't tell nobody that he was going to that gym. And he came and he popped up and he worked out at Stearns Gym, which is my uncle's gym. And everybody was
He's a
like,
crowd.
the day after he won the Olympia.
Mhm.
So that was pretty cool. But like I said, a lot of history with that gym. And that just where I got my start from. And then, like I said, growing up, I trained there. I kind of learned gym etiquette because, back in the day, It was really big on gym etiquette. So, teaching you the proper way to conduct yourself in the gym, and just, like, it's a lifestyle, it's a discipline. It's like military for us. You know what I'm saying? It's about, we go in there, we put in this work. It's about what you develop out of that. It's not really just about building muscle once you get to a certain point. It's about the type of person you become through the process of doing all this stuff you're doing. And so when I became old enough, and I was like, all right, you know what, I want to compete myself. And I told my pops, he was like, are you sure you want to do this? I said, I want to do this. So, we worked out, he trained me. And then I kind of took it on for myself and started doing my own thing eventually over time. But yeah, I started competing at 23. I'm 37 now. I've done 36 shows.
Cool.
Took me 12 years to get my pro card, but eventually never gave up. Ended up getting my pro card. And then, like I said, I did come from, I started in men's physique initially. And then I said, I want to do classic. When classic came around 2016, I did the very first classic show, The Legends, in Las Vegas in 2016. And I actually competed against Robert Timms in that very first show. He ended up winning. I ended up getting third in that show, and Robert Timms ended up winning. And
That's a big. Hey, that dude is.
he a
To cut
beast.
you off, but I saw him at in Atlanta. We were backstage getting tan, and he's that dude is look classic for real.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Now Mr. Classic Physique, yeah.
Oh
He
yeah,
was he was ahead of his time even back then. We seen him, we were like, oh yeah, bro, got that. Like we knew, like, what I'm saying, cool
yeah.
dude. And he actually lives out here in Arizona, but cool dude, and they're kind of like, but I got that fire then, man. Got that fire, knew I wanted to compete. And then, like I said, stuck with it, and I've been through it all. I done been through divorce, lost my mother to cancer, all the ups and downs, the rigmarole of life. And like I said, the reason why I've never given up on anything is because of bodybuilding. I could really honestly say bodybuilding has saved my life in so many different ways that even that alone, I'm grateful to it. Like, I'm indebted to bodybuilding because, like I said, when there was times I could have made bad decisions, I chose to go to the gym. When there was things that I might have wanted to do that would have put me in a bad environment, I chose to go home because I was prepping for a show. So a lot of different things that bodybuilding did, and like I say, and God's grace as well, saved me from a lot of bad decisions in life. So ultimately, I don't necessarily say I compete because, you know, obviously I want to go to Olympia. I want to make it to Olympia. I want to experience all that. But for me, it's so much bigger than that.
Mm,
Like, it's about impact. It's about, showing other people, like, you find something that you love, stick with it. Uh, you never know where it's going to take you. You never know where it's going to take you. And that's why I'm trying to teach my son right now. He see me doing it. I'm a superhero to him. I'm a
hmm.
superhero to him.
Yep.
Before I got my pro card, I was already a pro to him. I'm the best thing. He tell all his friends at school, my dad's super strong. My dad's super, so for me, just creating those memories that I had with my dad, with him. So he sees that. And then, like I said, he just knows, like, I'm gonna teach you how to work out, whatever you want to do. If you want to be a painter, you want to be the most fit painter in the world. You want to be, whatever you want to be, I'm gonna make sure that you know the foundation of fitness, because ultimately fitness is going to carry in other areas of your life. It's going to make you so much better in anything you choose to do. So I always instill that in myself and in my family, that, whether you want to be a bodybuilder or not, you need to learn the habits of a bodybuilder, because our lifestyle is about discipline, and discipline is going to serve you in any area of your life. It's going to save you from a lot of, for lack of better terms, fuck shit. you know, so, so just like I said, I'm forever indebted to bodybuilding 100%. Like, bodybuilding has done so much for me. And I'm just grateful to even be able to step on stage. Every time I step on stage, it's always a blessing to win a show, and you always give your best. But, just the opportunity to step on stage and present your best and see yourself in a better light than you did last time. That's ultimately what I do it for, man. You continue to grow every time you get on stage. So it's like, I just want to continue to feel that feeling for as long as I can. However long I compete, I want to be able to say I continue to get better year after year after year. And I can honestly say at 37, I'm in the best shape of my life than I've ever been. So,
Facts.
how many people can say that they feel like they're in the best shape of their life as they continue to get older versus when they're younger?
Oh
So,
yeah,
I just turned
riding that
37
wave.
in that same boat.
Yep.
yeah. But yeah, that's it for real. Like everything, bodybuilding is just about, like I said, connecting and building and just really just trying to create community like we doing right here, right now. Like I said, everybody got their reasons for why they do it. But for me, like I said, it's about family, legacy, and community.
Absolutely. And that's what I want this particular podcast to be about, is those three things: family, legacy, and community. You said something that man, it brought back some memories. When I was at USA's, I remember coming off stage just feeling defeated. Like, part of me was, I just took third out of a class of 22, 23 people. I felt great, but at the same time, I was like, damn, one spot away. And I just remember coming off stage, I was trying to see if I could find the picture. Um, and the first thing, my boys ran up to me and gave me a hug, and they said, "It's okay, Dad. You're still a pro to us." And at that point, like, I almost lost it.
Yeah.
And at that point, I knew it was to your point, it was bigger than the stage. They
Yes.
they understood what I went through, what I was going through, and all of those things. And that, at the end of the day, made every single part of it worth it. I still had the drive. Obviously, I still wanted to get my pro card, but it was just that one moment where I was like, that, it wasn't just, "Oh, it's okay, Dad, maybe next time," or, "Oh, you should have won." It was just a genuine, you're a pro to us. And
Absolutely.
that fueled me even more to just be like, all right, time to really turn it up.
Mhm.
Yep.
Hey, real and the segue off what you just said, man. I want to say something since we put this out there for everybody to kind of get some jewels from this. You know, I just want to let people know, like, don't lose yourself in the pursuit of trying to get this pro card or what I'm saying, trying to get this piece of paper. You know what I'm saying? Because if you pro, a pro is more of a pro by his actions and the way he carry himself, the way he moves, the way he conducts himself in his environment, his community, not just, oh, I'm a pro. I know a lot of clowns that are pros that don't
Hmm.
conduct themselves like pros. I know I go to the gym. I know a couple other pros, and I'm just like, you don't even carry yourself like a pro. But I know this other amateur dude in the corner right here who trains his ass off, who stands on principles. He just carries himself like a pro, and I think that's more important. A lot of people look for the validation of, oh, I got the pro card, but are you really a pro though? You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And I think that's important. That people will lose themselves and destroy their lives, and then they get what they're gunning for. But what do you have after it's all said and done? Like, what do you have? Like you said, when you lost that show, okay, you stepped off stage, you had people that still loved you. You still have people that supported you, believed in you, and that's gonna keep you going no matter what. So, for us that got family, and that got people that really depend on us, we have to find a way to merge all that into one. That's what being a pro is. A pro is not just having the card, it's about being able to bring it all together as one and being able to say, I'm professional because I know how to balance everything out. I'm a boss because I know how to balance everything out. It's not just one thing. And I think that's the most important part that a lot of people miss in the pursuit of trying to get this card.
Yeah. Can I
Oh,
say something too?
I'm in.
Absolutely.
I
you're
was,
good.
it's not gonna be on the term of family, but just off of what Alexander was saying too. Um, it's it's interesting the feeling of transitioning from amateur to pro, like you step across a bridge, and it you real quick you get hit with reality once all the celebration is over that this is it's good that you got the car, but guess what? It's more work now.
Oh yeah.
It's not like, it's not just all this, like you get a cake and you get a big fat check and you're chilling on the beach. It's like, oh, you're gonna have a greater competition. It's gonna be a lot harder to place top five now. And guess what? You're starting at the bottom. You're a rookie.
Yep.
So it's fun. I'm happy. I'm very satisfied. I'm happier than ever right now. But I just have that reality too that, yeah, it's you get that card, but yo, you better be ready because
Yeah, two things on that. One, to touch on both of you guys, and I know, Justin, you had mentioned something similar in one of your most recent posts about how you started acting like a pro before you were even a pro. And that is so important. It's the adage of dress for the job you want, not the job you have. Like, you
Yes.
have you have to start eating like a pro. like you said, being able to balance life, like you have to do all of those things before it will happen. And then the second part of that is I tell a lot of people and clients that tell me, oh, I want to go pro. The minute most people go pro is the minute they never win another show.
Bingo.
Because like you said, now they're bottom of the barrel. And if you're somebody that just eke by to get your pro card, really, how competitive are you going to be jumping right into the pro league? You might need 1, 2, maybe even 3 years off. But at that point, the people that you're trying to catch are already continuing to improve. Yes, there are people like Justin. Yes, there are people like Alexander. I took a strong second next to George Brown. Arguably, it was an 8-week prep. Give me 4 more weeks. I promise that outcome would have been a little bit different. But you
like
know, it's one of those things where the majority of people that just do enough to get their pro card will never be competitive again, and they don't realize that. So for the people that aren't there yet, enjoy the process because it's fun. If you enjoy competing, you're not going to enjoy it when you're not even close to winning because you're getting smoked. So put the time in. Don't be in a rush. Like do all of the things that it takes to line everything out to get to where you want to be, not just to fast track and try and grab that piece of paper. And back to the main point of not losing sight of everything else in between. There's so many people I know that step off stage and have, whether they win or lose, they have nobody to go home to.
Yeah.
Well, that's a sad.
Crazy.
I mean, you know what? I think we're all fueled by different things, but I will say that when I won my first, most of the shows I've done, I've been like by myself. But when I won, I competed in Arkansas last September, and that was my first overall win. And to have my family there to like to see that versus just kind of, you know, winning and then going home, eating whatever, like to celebrate with my people, with my community it felt way more overwhelming than just kind of just doing it on my own and then just getting back to the grind. So to have that community, to have people who are like who genuinely support what you
Yeah.
do, they get to see all the highs, the lows, the low energy days, the attitude problems sometimes from you know gear and being hungry, whatever. But to have your community there to back you when you get those kind of victories and celebrate together, man, it's a completely different satisfaction from those kind of wins.
Yeah, and when we say step off stage and have people there, like you said, everybody's different circumstances, but that includes family, that includes friends. Like you don't want to ostracize yourself and become this, you know, this bubble person that has nobody. You know, you might not have a spouse, you know, but one of my greatest moments was a local show. My aunt was a bodybuilder. I remember as a kid. So my dad was a bodybuilder and my aunt was a bodybuilder. And I remember as a kid watching her eat tuna fish out of a can at Thanksgiving. And one of the best memories I have was just her making it to a local show. And that like to me was one of the greatest feelings aside from stepping off stage and having my kids and my wife there. That was probably the second best. You know, obviously I love when my friends can make it out. I love the support, their family to me. But regardless, whoever's in your corner, like don't block those people out in pursuit of a piece of paper for something that once you get, you may no longer be competitive in.
I got a crazy story about that, but it'll be very, very short.
Yeah,
I
no. What
what was the show before USA's? The one in the East Coast. Was it the Universe or
universe?
okay,
Yeah, because
so
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's after.
Yeah, Jersey, yeah.
Yeah.
Team
bro,
U, yeah.
so you know, as a teacher, the summers are off. So I mean, I had a little advantage, guys. I was a full-time bodybuilder this summer. So I was living and breathing it, and I knew when I sent my pictures to Will, I was ready. I was so ready. I already knew I was gonna jump in the universe. Like I was contemplating day in and day out for about 2 or 3 days. I was texting my wife. I was like, "Yo, they were out of town though, and my brother, my dad, his wife, my whole family already ordered tickets for USA's,
Mm.
so like the fly to Vegas." And I was like, "Yo, like I need to turn pro ASAP." Like
Yeah.
Alexander was saying, I was going just straight after the card,
Yeah.
and my wife stopped me. She's like, What's more important? Like, what if you lose and everyone's still there for you, or what if you win and no one's there for you?"
Mm.
And I was like, "Damn!" Like I almost bought that ticket to Universe, but I was like, I knew I would turn pro. I saw the results. I was like, oh man, I would have
Yeah.
easily turned pro that day, but I would have went back to that hotel room with nobody there.
Yep.
And it was way more amazing of an experience to have Will, my entire family in the interview, just like everything how I pictured it. They were happy. My dad was crying. I haven't seen my dad cry in years, so
Yeah,
it
that's
was
dope.
like way better, way better,
Like that.
way better.
I love that. Well, I know we're coming up on an hour, and that's actually it's a perfect segue. I'm glad you told us that story
Yeah.
because my next question is now that you are pro, what do we got lined up?
Oh, oh.
Hey, I like the trophy in the background too. Yeah.
Oh,
We
my
got two
buddy,
of them, huh?
my
There you
buddy. Yeah,
go. Yeah.
this is my buddy. Hey,
Yeah.
I like him. I like him. But Tijuana is my. That's like I don't know. I got different loves for him. Okay. I haven't spilled the beans yet, but we're
You know
doing.
what? If you don't want to
No,
spill the
no,
beans,
I'm going to.
we got more
Oh,
podcasts.
no, no.
Nah, I
We,
want to hear.
I'm
I
about
want
to
to
yeah.
hear.
hear, especially. Hey, I got the BeHIM jumpsuit coming in. I'm gonna be spilling it anyway at some point. I'm gonna be signing this contract. All right. So I'm doing the Kentucky Bourbon on October
Hey.
17th. So it's the
Nice.
first, the first IFBB men's physique show there. I believe they have other divisions too, like bikini and wellness and figure and stuff like that. But no open and no classic, I think. But it's the first IFBB division, the part of it. You know how it's pro am. So
That's what's up. Okay.
yeah, I'll be
Man.
able to represent for the first time. So
And that's
October 17th, 60
Nice.
days out.
okay. So
8
you got about eight to 10 weeks?
8 weeks.
Hey,
8 weeks. Okay.
And for me, that
I'm at
means seven.
I'm at 4 and 5. So
Yeah, I've been seeing your videos. You shredded.
we're getting there.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just telling the guys, my face is a little puffy today because I'm coming off back-to-back 600 gram carb days, but
Ooh, they must feel good.
those will be coming out soon.
Look,
That's
I'm living
fantastic. Take
vicariously
them
through
while you
y'all,
have them.
man. I ain't competing for the rest of the year. I'm living through y'all and y'all energy and getting ready. I miss that feeling, man. Of getting ready, going into peak week.
Man.
That energy, you start feeling all hyped up, like, ooh, like you be ready to go. And I'm just ready. I miss that energy. That's the one thing I will say about getting on stage. There's no that high is like a high that we can't even describe to a lot of people. Like you gotta go through it. It's a feeling of like I did that. You go through. I feel like for me, at least, real quick, and I'm gonna leave it at that. When you start prep, it's like for me, it's always like, okay, just get into the routine, get into the rhythm, and then once you enter the rhythm, it's like now it's locked in. It's Groundhog's Day every day. It's just like get your head down, go to work, do the small details every day, get everything locked in, and then once you start getting into that 4 or 5 week time, getting up close to the stage, it's like, okay, it's getting serious, it's getting real, and then once you hit peak week.
Yeah.
Peak week
Oh,
is
yeah.
like you be like, all right, you on some Usain Bolt energy, like yeah, you just feel it, and then and the thing is too, like Justin was saying, when you ready. When you don't did the work. When you didn't cut the corners. When you crossed all T's and dotted all I's. And that's something to be proud of. So you can't like win, lose, or draw. You better talk your shit. You better walk in there like, you know what? I own this. This is my moment because I put in the work. Don't nobody know the sleepless nights. Don't nobody know the process I went through, the things I went through to do, the extra credit I did on a daily basis. And that's when that you could be proud of yourself when you did all that.
Right.
And that's what it's about too, man. Just being proud of yourself. If no one else claps you on the back, clap yourself on the back, man, because you put in the work, and everybody can't do what we do.
No doubt.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Awesome.
sir.
Anything
Yes,
else
sir.
before we wrap it, guys?
Uh,
Yeah.
that's it. My wife looking at me like, you coming in?
All
This
right.
is great. This is incredible, man. I
Well,
appreciate
hey,
you guys.
hopefully, I'm hoping we can do this at least on a bi-weekly basis. I know everybody's got families, we got jobs, we got, training, we got everything. But like I said, I want to bring community. I want to bring men's health, men's mental awareness, everything more than just a stage to this podcast. Obviously, we'll talk bodybuilding in between, but I want to talk about everything that happens outside of that. So that does it for this episode of Beyond the Bar. We will have a new name for this series next time, I promise. We got my guy Ty the Titan, Justin the Phoenix Parker. We got Alexander Brown, myself, Devin, and we will catch you guys on the next one. We're
All
out.
right, y'all be easy, man.
See you guys.
All right.